Hello everyone, and welcome back to Monsters of the Mind. As always, I'm your host, Mr.G. I'm here on the shores of whatever this background is supposed to represent to talk about a dangerous sea creature. One more dangerous than the Kraken. More dangerous than Moby... Oh wait, I can't say his name. More dangerous than the Leviathan. It is the great old one himself. The one who will send out a call. It is the one and only... Cthulhu. Funny story, I was actually testing the waters around here to see if they were safe. I sent in Eric, and he seems fine, so maybe I'll go for a swim later. The sea will rise from the ground and the big apocalypse of the hill. Vincent will die and we will all be there. We will all be burning for all eternity. Vincent, watch your back. He will come back. He always does. So you better watch yourself. Well, let's just get started with the video. Cthulhu is thought to be based on the word chthonic, and he was an individual. He, was malevolent. He comes from the city of R'lyeh, and he was from the book Call of Cthulhu by H.P. Lovecraft. Appearance-wise, Cthulhu is depicted as being a humanoid with green skin, large scales, an octopus head, and possessing a pair of dragon-like wings on his back. Cthulhu comes from the short story Call of Cthulhu, which was written by H.P. Lovecraft in 1926 before being published in a sci-fi magazine in 1928. In the story, a man named Francis Wayland Thurston is investigating strange occurrences that have been occurring, such as people having strange dreams or suddenly becoming mentally ill. Later on, he finds out about a cult that worships the titular monster. He hears about him from a policeman who tells of how he investigated a series of disappearances leading him to find the cult in New Orleans. When one of the cult members was interrogated, he told the officer that Cthulhu was part of a group called the Great Old Ones, who lived before man and started their own cult, where Cthulhu was a high priest. It is said that when Cthulhu and the underwater city of R'lyeh will rise, Cthulhu would call out to the cult and he would be liberated. Later on, while in a museum in Australia, Thurston reads a journal of a crew who set foot on R'lyeh, which is a city that is very confusing to the human mind, before one of the crewmates ends up opening a door and releases Cthulhu, who immediately attacks, killing almost all of the crew. While escaping, the captain steers the boat and slams it right into Cthulhu's head, causing it to burst into a gelatinous substance. Unfortunately for them, Cthulhu has regeneration powers. The crew end up sailing away, with one of the survivors soon dying from insanity. The story ends with Thurston realizing that since he knows so much about the cult, they will probably come after him. Now here's Vincent. Many decades before I was born, Cthulhu actually rised, and he came very close to destroying my world. Luckily though, a bunch of the gods ended up getting together. They all combined their weapons to fire out this huge beam that ended up petrifying Cthulhu into a bronze statue. Unfortunately, though, his mind is still active, so he is constantly sending out signals for someone to try to free him. Although luckily for us, most of the residents here aren't exactly the smartest, so most of them end up drowned trying to get to him. And mermaids are immune to mind control, so mermaids are no help there either. So yeah, right now he's just a big statue sitting in the bottom of the ocean. Now let's look at the card. Huh. This is a pretty cool portrayal. It's, very interesting, to say the least. It definitely looks Lovecraftian. I don't really have any complaints here. This is pretty accurate to the books, so I guess 10 out of 10? That's a very cautious one, though. So, yeah. Now, before we get to pop culture, it should be noted that the Call of Cthulhu itself doesn't really have any direct adaptations. Most of them are pretty loose adaptations. Since I'm pretty tired, I only dug up a few appearances. Cthulhu had a major role in 3 episodes of South Park. The Castlevania series has an enemy called Malachi, or something like that, who are clearly based on Cthulhu. Although, weirdly enough, they actually did have enemies called Cthulhus, except they were just generic demons, so, I have no idea what happened here. The cartoon Justice League featured a creature called Cthulhu, who is pretty clearly Cthulhu, just with a different name. The Cartoon Network show Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy had an episode where Cthulhu is running a telemarketing scheme that turns whoever listens to a phone call into an eldritch abomination. This was a weird show. And there's the Call of Cthulhu card game, which is often pointed to as the reason why Cthulhu ended up becoming a mainstream popularity. Oh yeah, these cards also remind me of another subject I should talk about, Cthulhu's copyright status. You see, Cthulhu is technically in the public domain in every medium except for trading card games. Basically, you want to include Cthulhu in a video game, cartoon, film, or book, you're legally able to. But you cannot put Cthulhu in a tabletop game. The creators of Dungeons and Dragons tried to do it, and they ended up getting sued by the company who made the Call of Cthulhu trading card game. So, yeah, in basically every medium you can use Cthulhu except for card games. I don't think the cards I review would be sued, though. They're clearly used in an educational context, and according to the fair use laws, that means they're legally able to use copyrighted material without permission. It's the same reason why the Orc card was able to mention Lord of the Rings so much, even though that book is still copyrighted. Okay, I'm bored. I'm just gonna cut off the video here. That's all for this episode of Monsters of the Mind. Join us next time when we take our first foray into the final frontier, space. Yes, next time we are going to space, and it's gonna be. Wait, we're going to space! Oh, sweet! I've always wanted to go to space. Like a shotgun.